minutes here, I'll tell you that. Because I'm not going to... Hey, looks like there's a F-16 coming up here.
I wouldn't be surprised. You're making a mistake.
He's scrambling somebody down there. He's got some afterburners on because I can see him. He's about 5 miles out. That old boy is cranking. Yes, sir. And I see something opening up here on the ground. I'm pretty low now. I'm starting to pick up all kind of buildings down here. I see something here is level with the ground, and they're opening this thing up. There looks like something's coming up out of that. I can't tell you what it is. It must be on some kind of a... hold on here. I got to make this turn.
All right.
I think this old boy's going to head up here for me.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, he's going to be up here right directly because he's in the F-16. Sure as hell. He's coming. Hold on here.
I would advise you to turn your...
We can do that.
I would advise you to turn on your radio.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We can do this now. Come on here. Hold on. This old boy's coming up here. Now, he's got his lights. He's got his lights on and he's flashing me.
Yeah, he's probably...
All right, I'm waving at him. No radio. No radio. No radio. He don't know that.
Well, if I were you, I'd turn it on.
Folks are listening to Art Bell because everybody listens to Art Bell.
Well, maybe if you're making...
I got to get some air.
You're making a bad calculation because if they're not listening, you're going to be shot down.
I don't know what he's going to do here. He's rocking his wings at me right now. He's rocking his wings and he's cutting in front of me. And you know this, oh, don't cut in front of me now, because if he cuts that close, stay off. Stay off. He could hear the vortex from his engine, from Pratt & Whitney engine. We're going to, just like twin tornadoes, if he gets too close, stay off, boy. Hold on there. I'm getting down on the deck. I'm going in. I'm getting down here. He ain't going to get me. I'm that damn veteran. He ain't going to get me there. They didn't get me over there. They're not going to get me over here now. Looks like some kind of rail gun coming up out of that elevator, that flat area over there that the doors opened up. It's got some kind of a weird-looking barrel on it with a light. And, oh, hell, they're doing something. They're shooting at me now. Oh, God. No, baby, I'm going in. I think I'm going in.
Huh. Well, I'm not sure what we just heard. All I can tell you is I got a fax that read, Art, answer the wildcard line. My boyfriend is in a small plane north of Las Vegas and ready to fly into Area 51. He's been trying to call you by cell phone. I withheld the signature at the bottom of the fax so I could be sure that if I did get the person, I could verify it. Indeed, it was signed by Jill. Now, whether what you just heard was a hoax or the real thing, I have no way of telling you, and I have no way of knowing. You tell me.
What happened in Paris?
I talk to a lot of people about out-of-body experiences. They're called OBEs. And I've been to the edge of an OBE before, Larry. Have you ever been in bed, sort of lying there, and you feel a kind of a vibration and a buzzing begin? Sometimes you snap out of it, and you feel like you're falling. Almost everybody's had that experience.
Or you can't get up.
Or you can't get up. Or you're paralyzed. Well, that's the beginning of an OBE, Larry. And I've been there several times, and I'm a control freak. You know, I do a radio show, and I do my own board, and I control everything. I control the phones, and I'm a control freak, so I would never let it go. But I went to Paris with my wife, and all of a sudden, I wasn't doing a radio show every day. I didn't have a deadline. I relaxed. I let my guard down. And I was lying in bed, awake, and instantly, with acceleration that I can only describe as incredible, but you didn't feel it as though the lips pressing back, going up in the shuttle. I was above Paris in what I can only describe as total ecstasy. There are really not words to describe what I felt. And it surprised me.
You weren't in the body.
No, absolutely not. It shocked me so much that I snapped right back into my body. Right back into my body. And here's something you don't do. I was so excited. I was so shocked that I woke my wife up. And I said, guess what happened to me? I said, and I told her the whole story. Don't do that. Don't wake up your wife to tell her that kind of story.
Right. Well, couldn't it have been, though, you flew over Paris, you having a dream sequence? Because in dreams, you fly into anything.
I have dreams every other day, every week. I know what dreams are. This was no dream. I was out of my body.
Do you remember going back into it?
It was instantaneous. And the reason I went back so quickly, I believe, there was no warning that it was coming. It was utterly spontaneous because I had my guard down. And I snapped back into my body because I was so shocked at what had occurred.
Which leads you to think what? All right, that plus this equals means.
Well, it may not mean anything. It may be that our brains, in other words, it's a function of a living human brain. Does it mean, somebody told me that's as close as you're ever going to be to death. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know that that means there's life after death. So you see, I really am a skeptic. But it may mean that it's a function of my living human brain.
Some people near death report things like that, right?
Absolutely.
That when they don't die and they come back.
Absolutely. But short of one a couple thousand years ago, nobody's come back after 3 or 4 days to tell us,
I've never. And I know you got a new book out, right, called The Source.
The Source,
A Journey Through the Unexplained. In fact, there we see its cover. When you got into this, did you become a believer or a reporter?
I'm still a reporter. I don't think you could call me a believer. And everybody's always asking for proof. Do you believe in aliens? Well, I believe they could be here. Are they here? No, I can't say that.
But a lot of your callers describe it, right?
Of course. I've interviewed abductees. I've interviewed doctors who have taken implants out of people's hands and other parts of their body. So sure.
Now, if you question it, do you believe that they believe it? How do you separate that from the charlatan?
That some of them believe it. How do I separate it? I don't. In other words, I assume that my audience is made up of adult people. And so I present them with hard science. I present them with soft stories. And I allow them to make the decision.
This, all of it, Art, then from your standpoint, has been self-educated to you, right? In other words, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have said, I have this wild interest in UFOs.
Not a chance.
So the audience developed it for you? I mean,
well,
were you taking calls one night?
I'll tell you what developed it for me. I saw one. That's what really developed it for me.
What did you see?
Fortunately, I was not by myself. I was with my wife, and this was during the time when I was commuting from my home to Las Vegas, a 65-mile one-way drive, 120 miles every day.
You live remote?
I live well, as a matter of fact, do you remember when you did that show, sitting out, desk like this in the middle of the desert?
Never forget it.
Never forget it. Area 51.
Special for 2 hours.
I live
Area
just over
51.
That's
you
right.
live near there?
I live just over the mountain from that area.
Nothing near there.
I've always wondered, when you were sitting there, was it getting colder and
Whoa,
colder?
colder.
I thought so.
We started in the afternoon. By the time it got to be night, I was freezing to death. And it was, but there's nothing there. I mean,
nothing there.
You wait for the lights of Vegas. Where could you possibly live there?
Well, I can see the lights of Vegas just barely from where I live. They kind of light up one little segment of the sky. Otherwise, it's clear, beautiful. The stars are a million deep. The Milky Way is from one side all the way to the other side.
You broadcast from there?
I do.
From your house?
From home.
All right. What do you see that night? What's happening?
All right. I'm on the way back from Las Vegas.